And as part of efforts to curb the recurring tense relations between Nigerians and their host communities in some parts of South Africa, Nigeria's mission in South Africa has held an interactive session with a group of South African women. The group, called the United Nigerian Wives of South Africa, are South African spouses of Nigerians who are sometimes caught in the middle of tense situations often recorded in the country. The event was held at the Nigerian High Commission in Pretoria, and our South Africa Bureau Chief, Betty Dibia, tells us more.
Top officials from Nigeria's 2 missions in South Africa received the women who have at many times braved prejudice and stigma from some of their kinsmen just for being married to Nigerians. They got assurances.
You have, over time, taken insults, taken tantrums to remain Nigerian spouses. And that is why we want to identify with you that, you're not alone in this onerous campaign and crusade to prove to your own homelands that you are not paper wives, you are real wives.
There is a negative perception, and we need to change that narrative. And that is why I am very happy that you are there in the forefront based on the experience and the identity that you have to stand to speak about it.
While there was laughter shared over the sometimes hair-raising cultural differences and tensions often shared, the women said they wish Nigerians could help the situation by including themselves more in communities where they live.
Nigerians don't want to belong. It is a shame that you go to a meeting, Zimbabwe is represented, Ghana, everybody is there, only Nigeria. And you'll be the only South African answering Okoro in that meeting. It's not good.
We have encouraged them, and most of them now are getting involved in community activities in various areas they live. And because you see, sometimes in these meetings, they raise these issues. And sometimes they accuse Nigerians of what other nationals do. But if there are Nigerians in these meetings, they can now raise the matter that every African you see that cannot speak South African language now in Nigeria.
Before the ladies got to the point of this meeting, they had taken to the streets at the weekend in downtown Johannesburg for a protest march that ended up at the Hillbrow police station. Their protest was against drug and human trafficking as well as child prostitution, a string of crimes often associated with Nigerians, but sometimes wrongfully.
It's not fair for Nigerians to be pointed or to be blamed whenever there's something wrong that happens. We are aware that there are Nigerians that are doing crime. However, let's stop nationalizing crime.
The United Nigerian Wives in South Africa hope to contribute their bit to building what they call bridges of understanding between citizens of Nigeria and South Africa, where problems are solved with dialogue instead of the recurring violent attacks seen recently. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Betty Dibia, Channels Television News.
And in South Africa, the Home Affairs Minister, Professor Lengiwe Mkhize, has given her words that her department will work steadfastly to see to the implementation of the Constitutional Court ruling that all detained illegal immigrants must be brought before a court within 2 days as enshrined in the Constitution. Following the ruling, courts were set up at detention centers to grant the detainees their right of prompt hearing. The Constitutional Court had handed down judgment in a matter brought by lawyers for human rights acting on behalf of persons detained in Section 34, subsection 1 of South Africa's Immigration Act against the Department of Home Affairs.
I personally am grateful for the judgment because if you reflect and look at it, access to justice is a fundamental human right, especially for the most vulnerable. So with this judgment, instead of detaining our officials at their level, having power to detain and deport, now those people have an opportunity to appear before the courts within 48 hours, and so there's a fair determination of their status. As I was saying, that talking about border management authority, it's not about preventing people from moving freely within the continent. It's about legal and orderly men. But where people are genuine, we should do everything possible to enable. It was during the the policy conference, we started meeting with the Minister of Justice, and the teams went around, and the courts were brought on board, and we started a process. We had an option to ask for more time, but we said as we ask for more time, we'll be accounting as to how we've dealt with the numbers who were already affected, which we already had. And arrangements were made for the magistrates to begin to see people. And so it's we wouldn't think of appealing it, because it's really deepening the values enshrined in the Constitution. It's in line with our Bill of Rights. It's promoting the rights of refugees and defending and compelling us as a state to protect them.